Hey friends, April here, also known as Part-Time Farmer. Today we're going to do a little garden update, which I've been promising. But first I wanted to share this with you. We have a little mama robin in here. Oh, she's not going to let us see her. Oh, see her eggs? We're not going to bother her for too long. Hopefully we can catch her another time. There's 7 eggs in there. And again, we don't want to make her too upset. So maybe next time when we come out, she will be off collecting food or whatever, and we can get a close-up of the eggs. So let's start the garden tour. It's not going to take too long. There's not a lot planted, but let's dig in. Welcome to my garden. There's nothing better than being out in the garden and hearing all the birds chirping and everything going on outside. This morning, I actually was able to watch. We have a mama fox with 3 babies that's living under our shed. And I got to watch her outside playing in the yard with her babies this morning. So that was pretty cool. All right, here we go. First, when we first come in the garden, we have our strawberry bed. I'm going to be filling this bed with soil pretty soon. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to plant in there yet, but that's going to be another bed. We have some very young blueberry plants. I haven't done much to protect these yet because they're really not producing a tremendous amount of blueberries. So I honestly don't mind sharing them with the birds for now. But the plan is, as these start to really get in gear, and start producing, I'll build some kind of a wooden structure over these plants so the birds can't just eat everything. In this bed, we have Yukon Gold potatoes and Norland Reds. I tried planting some zinnias over here on the side for the aesthetics. They're not dead, but they're definitely not thriving. I think I put them out here way too early. So we'll see how they do. To make up for that, this is the bed where my peppers are going to be planted. So I did add some zinnia seeds on this side of the bed and on this side of the bed. And we'll see how they do. My daughter and my grandson and my son-in-law were visiting this weekend for Mother's Day. So I really wasn't ready to plant yet, but my grandson just loves to be out and he loves to play in the dirt. So we did plant a few zucchinis over here. And of course, this is the guardian of the garden. Gustav is hanging out, making sure that nobody comes in here and eats my veggies. This is my asparagus bed. This is one bed that I'm going to be moving, I think, at the end of the season. I'm not quite sure yet because I did put in a big bed. You could see on this side of the bed we have some bok choy, and then in the back I have 5 different kinds of lettuce. Over here are the broccoli and cabbage seedlings that I started. I always do pretty good with cabbage, but I struggle with broccoli every year. And I'll show you in a bit some starts that I actually purchased from a nursery, where I think that might be what I do from now on. This bed, we have some rainbow chard that's doing really well. And then we have a couple of volunteer, I don't know what kind of beans these are, but we have 3. We have 1 here, and I have 2 more over here. 1, 2. I will tell you, rainbow chard is probably one of the hardiest vegetables I plant. It does good in the heat. It does good in the cold. It is like a rock star, and it's delicious. It sautés really well just with garlic, or you can put it in a salad when it's babies, when it's young. So great vegetable overall. Here, this is pretty interesting. So here's a couple of yellow squash that my grandson... Oh! I am actually going to pinch this flower. I get so excited still every time I see something like that. because she needs to put down her roots and get established before she starts producing fruit. This cabbage is huge, and this actually grew from last season through the winter. I mean, look at the size of this leaf. Incredible. And it's already making a little cabbage inside. These 2 heads of lettuce as well grew back from last year. I think in addition, I'm going to put some eggplants here. And then here, I don't know, maybe I'll do all eggplants because I have some Thai eggplant and I have some Black Beauty eggplant that I might add to this bed. And here, I don't know if you know what a daikon radish is, but again, my husband is Asian. I know I've mentioned it several times. He's from Thailand. And we use this daikon radish as one of the main ingredients when we make pho, which is a delicious noodle soup. So I'm trying to plant some this year, and so far I think they look pretty good. It's always exciting with root vegetables because you never really know what's going on under the soil. This bed over here, I am going to be planting my determinate tomatoes, and I'll give a explanation of what that is when I do my tomato planting video. Tomatoes and potatoes have determinate and indeterminate varieties, which makes a big difference in how you plant them. So I'll make sure to highlight that in the planting video. This is kohlrabi. I don't know if you're familiar with kohlrabi, but it's in the same family as like the broccoli, cabbage, and all that. But it actually produces, like at the bottom of the plant, like a nice round, it's kind of like it reminds me of an apple, but it's much harder, and you can shred it into like a slaw, or you could slice it and eat it raw. We eat a lot of spicy Thai food, so raw vegetables are like a staple for us. So again, these are the starts that I bought from a local nursery, and they're absolutely gorgeous. These have been in the ground probably for like a month already. Let's skip over to this bed. Again, this is broccoli. I bought these starts at a local nursery, and you can see very clearly how much better they look than the ones that I started. Also in this bed, we have carrots, which are looking great. And then next to the carrots, we have, I believe this bed is Spanish onion. Onion and carrots are great companion plants, and everything looks fantastic. Over here, this is the cabbage starts that I bought, and then we have red onion, then we have beets. The beets and the carrots, I have to come back and thin them pretty soon, but you could see everything is just coming up really nice. This is cauliflower. Also, I bought these. Got a nice bed of cilantro. We go through a lot of cilantro. We eat it fresh. I don't actually freeze the cilantro because it doesn't really preserve well. I know a lot of people say that they put it with like olive oil and then put it, but we don't really eat it. We eat it fresh. So, but we do save the root. Cilantro root is a fantastic addition to like salads and not salads, to soups. So we use that as one of the main ingredients. And I have to say, my husband makes some of the best soup I've ever tasted. Then we have some peas. I got to get some strings so that they have something to climb. A little bit of snap peas, a little bit of snow peas. And then in addition to that, I planted more peas over here to climb the trellis. Again, a little bit of snap, a little bit of snow. This is some basil that I know I transplanted it too early. This is holy basil, which again, if you're a big fan of Thai drunken noodle, this is the special basil that's used in the Thai drunken noodle. It's called holy basil. In Thai, they call it gapao. I had to transplant it this early because I had it in an indoor grow system that was like a hydroponic, and my pump went. So it was either bring them out to the garden now and see if they root and take off, or let them die inside the house. So I figured I'd take my chances. I mean, a couple of them look okay. But I think even the ones that look like this, I think once we get the hot weather, they're gonna come back. But I mean, I have a ton of seeds, which I plan on planting anyway, because this basil freezes magnificently, and then we get to eat it all winter long, instead of having to buy it in the store. So let's see what else we got. I mean, you could see here's like a overview. This bed over here is Brussels sprouts. I also purchased these starts. They're not looking as great as the rest, but I mean, they look pretty good. Got to be super careful with any of the members of the Brassica family. You know, when you see those white moths fluttering around your garden, that is not a good thing, because those are the moths that lay the seeds for the insects that will totally eat and destroy anything in this family. Cabbage, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, kale, anything in the Brassica family, those caterpillars will destroy. And this is a bed, there's a little bit of garlic in it, a whole bunch of shallots that I planted this bed last November. And down here I planted a Asian spinach. In Thai it's called pak bung. I think in English it's just called Chinese water spinach. And then the rest of this bed will be for my sweet potatoes. I have some purple Japanese sweet potatoes I'll be planting. Those are my husband's favorites. And then I have some Beauregard sweet potatoes that I'll be planting. But that will be closer to the end of May. And this is my garlic bed. I'm waiting. I'm not seeing any scapes yet. So this is a hardneck garlic variety. Music is a hardneck variety. So what'll happen is this will produce like a long sprout, and if you don't snip it off, it will impact how your garlic grows, right? Because all the energy will be going to the sprout, because that's the plant's job, is to produce seeds and perpetuate, you know, growth, further growth. So you snip the scapes off when they show up, and they actually have an awesome garlic flavor, and they make a great addition to like a stir fry. You can grill them. They're actually quite expensive if you like buy them at a farmer's market. And this bed is not going to get filled this year. Next year I'm going to start like collecting as I'm like removing things from the garden. As long as it's not a weed, a live weed, it'll get tossed in here to kind of help fill this bed, so I'm not breaking the bank when I get soil. And this is my herb bed. You can see it's pretty much been taken over by oregano and mint. I did throw some seeds, some zinnia seeds in here, but I'm not seeing anything sprouting yet. And these are some flowers that were in here years ago, and they just come back every year. I think they're comets. And then I put some zinnia seeds in here. I also have a clipping that I took from my niece's rosemary plant that I'm going to be putting in here. And this is another bed. Oh wait, I think we got somebody's trying to come up. All right, so there's the first sprout for our pak bung, or our Chinese water spinach. This variety of spinach loves water. Like you could even grow this like in the water, like if you had like a pond, or you could just put it in a bucket and it would sprout. So that's it. That's the tour. And there's lots of oh, I forgot the grapes. Now that I'm looking, let's go see our grapes. Our grapevine is in the back. Oh, this is where I'm going to be planting tomatoes. And I already have all my irrigation set up. So this bed will be tomatoes. And then I will release some of this string. When I dig the hole for the tomato, the string will go under the tomato. And then as it grows, I'll just let it grow up this string. This is for the indeterminate tomatoes, which I'll explain. And then I have some additional space along the side of the garden. You could see these poles go all the way down, and that allows the tomatoes to climb up the string. So here's the grapes. You can see we're already starting to get some little clusters. I can't really, there we go. I have not had great luck with my grapes because I think they have a fungus. So I'm working on it. I'm hoping that I can clear it up, but I have not been getting grapes for the last couple of years. So hopefully this year with some fungicide, which I don't like to spray anything, but you know, if you have a plant that you know is struggling, it makes no sense to just allow it to struggle. I'm going to give these vines a couple more years, and if they still are not producing, you know, edible grapes, then they got to go. Here's some more you can see. There we go. All right. And that's all I got. This is just going to be for all like squashes and melons. You could see we have the trellis here for them to climb. And again, my grandson and I planted some, one zucchini over here and one yellow squash. But again, and so far none of these, like you could see this flower, if this were a female flower and able to produce a squash, it would have like a little bump on the back. But so far all the flowers I've seen are male. So removing that doesn't prevent any squash from growing, because it wouldn't have made a squash anyway. Let's see if this has a female or a male. Also a male. Alright, you got to go. Okay. So, I mean, they don't look too bad. Alright. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the tour, and have a great day.